most likely to be fired, and I'm going to stick to the same team right here, Joe Madden.
Joe Madden. This is easy.
Just struggling. I've not seen a team this bad at baseball in a long time.
And, of course, then there's all the rumors. I mean, so we cheated. I mean,
a little bit.
We cheated. I mean, there's rumors he could be out by next week. Some people think he's lost the locker room. He doesn't know how to manage young players. So, we're not even going to discuss this. Joe Madden, congratulations. Your certificate for being fired, for potentially being fired, will be in the mail. It'll be shipped to, we're probably going to need a home address for that one.
Yeah, we're going to hold on to it until this happens.
We're going to need a home address for this one because
don't think you'll be at the Cubs facility for much longer, big guy.
It's not looking too good for you. And these are obviously true. We're not overreacting. That's the point here.
Absolutely not overreacting from a week of Major League Baseball at all. What we said will stand no matter what happens.
I think that's all the awards. Is that all the awards we have?
That is definitely all the awards.
Yeah, I mean, every one of them's going to happen. I don't see a single flaw in any of our decisions. I mean, maybe the Tim Beckham for the AL MVP, but, we'll let that one go. Baseball. You love it.
Before we end.
155 games left.
Before we end on baseball, I got to ask, where is Craig Kimbrell going?
I don't know. For dinner or playing?
To play a baseball
he's
game.
Playing this year. Well, I was thinking maybe the Brewers because they lost Knebel. But Josh Hader has decided that they're going to let him.
That's his spot.
Yeah, they decided they're going to let him close it out. And I mean, they liked him, having the flexibility to maybe throw a couple innings in the middle when you need him most. But it looks like he's going to save. And I know he threw an immaculate inning the other day. He struck out the side on 9 pitches. I mean, he's ridiculous. So maybe not. Maybe the Cubs, their bullpen's trash. But I mean,
they don't have the money to sign him.
That's the thing. They have bad contracts. They can't sign him. You know what? Let's just get Welcome to the Jungle playing in Atlanta. That's all.
That's what I need.
That's all I want is Welcome to the Jungle. We would play that, but we don't have the money to pay for that rights. So, Welcome to the Jungle. Please come home, Craig. That's all we got. I think I might have to send in a check. Oh man, I probably should have done that. That's all we got for baseball because we got to stop there. I don't have enough money to keep that conversation going. So let's move on. We're going to take a quick break. I know we got some March Madness talk. We're going to review the Elite Eight and then talk some Final Four for you. We'll be right back. Hi! We're back from break. Was that right, JJ? Did I do that right?
No, I think you need to work on your haze.
Okay, we'll practice that out. I'll just stick to the welcome.
A little cracked, dude. Your voice cracked a
hey,
little bit.
Producer Bill's here. He's talking. Maybe we'll get him involved instead of on his phone this segment. He's here, guys. We're going to talk a little March Madness. As you know, last week we had the Elite Eight. A lot of people very impressed with the games. Some people saying maybe the best collection of games in the Elite Eight we've ever had. We had Auburn, over Kentucky. We had
War Eagle.
We had Virginia over Purdue with Carson Edwards dropping like 43 points on a mission. We had Michigan State upsetting Duke, and we'll talk about someone who, in this podcast who picked that game in his actual bracket. It was me, but we'll talk about it. And then Texas Tech, of course, beat Gonzaga. Another game I predicted, but not to brag. But I have 3 of the 4 Final Four teams right. Hey JJ, who'd you pick to win it all again, real quick, before we get into this?
Duke.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out to Zion.
I got Virginia over Michigan State.
Coming back.
We'll talk a little more. There is rumors about that. Did you see that real quick? That Zion is considering coming back. I think it's
I thought it was confirmed.
I don't know if it's. I think it's the high of just losing in the tournament. Like you're with the teammates. He's never going to play with RJ and Trey and Cam and all them again. I think somebody needs to look in Zion in the eye and say you're going to the draft. He should not come back. That's a $1 million mistake. I mean, he'll still probably go number 1 next year, but then he also runs the risk of getting hurt. He needs to go to the draft.
Like he did this year.
I mean,
shouldn't have even been.
But
Duke was great for college basketball.
He goes to the draft now, he'll never get his ring that he wants,
Well, you can also get a $100 million shoe deal.
Yeah.
So let's go to the draft.
I think I would skip the ring for the $100 million.
Yeah, it makes sense to do that.
And like I said, I mean, we're sorry that you got upset, but think about it. I mean, out of the top 5 games, Duke probably had 3 of the best games in the tournament with UCF, Vatech, and then the Michigan State game. And I mean, that was the number 1 overall seed. Here's the thing: sometimes you got to take it as just a giant sign of respect that everybody was so shocked you lost with Michigan State. Michigan State's a good team, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about losing to Michigan State, led by Tom Izzo's, obviously known as Coach March in some places. I mean, I know that was a big win for Izzo, by the way. I think that's like a second win ever over Duke, maybe Michigan State's second win ever. It was crazy. But great, the EA games, Texas Tech showing defensive intensity. Of course, also getting help with a technical foul from Gonzaga there. Like, he reached over the line, touched the ball, which seems like a weird technical foul, but by rules, a technical. Did hurt him. Auburn got a shock. I mean, that's the biggest run. I did not have them in the Final Four, only team I didn't have. But playing well. I mean, looking like the type of team that each year you have a team in the tournament that gets hot and makes
Auburn's
a run.
that team.
And Auburn's looking like that team. And, I mean, they're a little undersized. I mean, Harper and Brown are playing well, but they're undersized. But, I mean, it's March. It's called March Madness for a reason. This is supposed to happen. And it's weird thinking that as a 5 seed, they're kind of a Cinderella. But, I mean, they've won like the last 12 games, and Bruce Pearl has that team believing. And then, of course, Virginia over Carson Edwards, like I said. Because I say Carson Edwards because no one else in Purdue decided to show up. Carson Edwards dropped 43, I believe. And I think he set a record for like most three-pointers made in the tournament in history. Only played 4 games, and he hit like 28. So, ridiculous. But here's one thing I want to point out. And here's kind of why I'll give like an insight on why I picked Michigan State to beat Duke and why I have Virginia in the championship game and all that is in college basketball, in March, experience beat youth. Why has Kentucky not won many championships? They have those one-and-dones. Look who beat Kentucky, Auburn. And not only are they high, but look at their lineup. They have Harper, who's a junior, Brown, senior, Purefoy, junior, Dunbar, senior. I mean, that's veteran lineup that beat a young team. Now, they did lose Okiki, big loss. I mean, that guy could be a first-round draft pick, late first round, but still, that's a big loss. But, I mean, Harper's the heart and blood of that team. Brown is going to knock down some big shots for him. If you move over to Virginia, the reason they got him in the Final Four, veteran team, and they want to avenge that loss to UMBC last year. Kyle Guy, Jr., Jerome, Jr., Diakite, redshirt Jr., DeAndre Hunter, redshirt Jr. Before I move on, did you see the thing about Kyle Guy in NCAA?
Ah, poor guy.
He's engaged, and he's getting married. And you know what you do when you get married? You're nice fiance, and you plan a registry.
Okay.
And you get gifts. You know what the NCAA said? You can't have a registry because that's illegal for you to receive gifts. So him and his wife had to take it down.
Oh, man.
Yeah, NCAA is not allowing him to have
Can't
a registry.
receive gifts from anybody?
Because that's like he can't have a registry public. And people are saying, well, it's because, it opens it up for boosters and fans to send him stuff. But I mean, now and he had it under his fiance's name, I'm pretty sure. Like, that's the thing. They had to take it down because it's illegal for him to receive gifts. But I mean, my opinion on why players should be allowed.
So if he wouldn't have made that public, it would have been perfectly fine.
I mean, yeah, but then, what if they found out? I mean, it's still stupid. What if they found out?
Then he would have got suspended.
It's stupid. I mean, it's
So
ridiculous.
not even birthday cards or birthday presents with $20 in it.
NCAA,
like
is the governing body of all athletes and the world. It's a
It
little bit
is.
much in my opinion, but we'll move on for now. Maybe for another podcast episode we can talk about everything the NCAA does. That's kind of strange.
That'll be an hour
Moving on,
long.
like I said, my theory, Texas Tech, they a bunch of redshirt seniors with Tariq Owens, Mooney, Culver is going to be a lottery pick, possibly could be a top 5-10 pick. And by the way, did you know? I think I saw this the other day. Not a single person on Texas Tech was in the top 100 ranked nationally in their recruiting class.
I did not know that.
Some of them were 3 stars or less. Like, I don't think they have a 4 or 5 star recruit. I mean, I could be wrong. Culver developed into one, and they were picked to finish next to last or third to last in the Big 12 this year. And here they are in the Final Four with the
crazy.
best defense in the country, which is they're kind of zagging where everybody else is sigging playing defense instead of shooting a bunch of threes. And then finally, Michigan State. You have Langford's a junior, McQuaid, and Goins are redshirt seniors. And then, of course, the best player in the country, Cassius Winston Jr. That's the reason I picked them to beat Duke. So, I mean, like I said, you just have all these veteran players for college basketball that it seems is better for college basketball, or a team is better in college basketball when you have a veteran team, a more experienced team. And, you look at Duke, I don't know a team that ever won it with 4 freshmen really leading the team. So
That's very true.
And there also would have been the worst three-point shooting team to ever win the national championship in the modern era with three-pointer. They shoot 30%. I think the lowest team to ever, or the lowest three-point percentage ever is 32.7. They would have been a complete outlier to win this year.
So who do you have winning it all?
Virginia. Like I said earlier, I've stuck with them throughout the entire tournament. I got Virginia beating Michigan State. And, I know there's been times when some Cavaliers have struggled in the playoffs. Some have forgot the time. And, someone's had to remind him that he should have shot the ball. But that's the professional Cavaliers. This is the college Cavaliers. And They're determined to win the first national championship in their university's history, Virginia basketball history. And, I mean, actually, if you look at it, this is the first Final Four for Virginia in like 20, 30 years. I mean, it's the first Final Four ever for Auburn and Texas Tech. They've never made the Final Four. I mean, I know the University of Auburn's been going insane lately, so.
Yeah.
So.
History's going to be made regardless.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. No matter what Bruce Pearl or Chris Beard does the remainder of this tournament, they're almost legends in their own right in their respective universities because they got to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And, I mean, and then, of course, you got the old constant in Michigan State who, Coach Izzo's been there, done that. Of course, I don't know if y'all saw what Chris Beard said. Somebody said, what do you feel like being, it's your first Final Four, first time you've been to the Final Four? He goes, well, I've been to a bunch of Final Fours. He goes, usually I'm just in the lobby drinking draft beer.
So, hey.
I think he became kind of he became the people's coach, I believe. So, you asked me who I think's going to win it. JJ, who you got? I know you can't be Duke. Sorry, buddy. Sign's out.
Oh, yeah.
Let's give us Final Four prediction. Let's go with Michigan State, Texas Tech. Who you got in that game first? Let's just go game by game.
Texas Tech. Defense is too good.
That is true. That's one of the highest rated defensive efficiency, or in terms of defensive efficiency in the country in the last few years, actually. And then, of course, you got Auburn versus Virginia. Are you riding the wave of Auburn, or are you going to pick the number 1 seed here, Virginia?
I'm not riding the wave. I'm surfing the wave.
Oh,
I got Auburn.
Okay.
They drain too many threes. Virginia's not going to be able to keep up.
Okay, there we go. I like that.
Okay, while the 1056 Sports Podcast will be looking for a new co-host next week, that is probably the perfect way to beat Virginia because they pack in defensively so much. And if you can shoot and hit threes consistently, you spread them out. And now they can't pack in. That's one thing about Virginia. If you don't shoot threes, they make it hard to hit layups or make easy shots, and that's the thing that's why Carson Edwards by himself, almost was able to keep him in the game because he was making shots. I mean, well, first off, some of the shots he was making were ridiculous, but him spacing the floor helps the rest of the team, at least score a few points. And then, but Auburn, that's their game. I mean, Auburn lives and dies by the three. If they go out there and they shoot 40% from the three-point line and shoot 40-something threes and make 15 of them, something crazy like that, they're probably going to win.
Oh, yeah.
But if they come out there and shoot like 20%, Virginia may run away with it. And I mean, that may sound crazy because Virginia may only score like 65, 70 points, which doesn't sound like a ton really in college basketball, but if Auburn isn't making threes, Auburn can get behind in a hurry. But they're also the same type of team that, can make a run and catch up.
At any point in time.
At any point in time.
They're almost never out of it. And then you got Bruce Pearl with his theatrics, and he's very motivational. And, I mean, you can tell the players love him. And that's...
I love watching them.
I know you want to be a coach, and that's one of the things, like, is that something, like, just a question for you, is anything from Bruce Pearl something you could, like, replicate in your coaching?
The hype man. Oh, yeah. every team needs the hype man, needs the hype coach.
He is almost a WWE character for a basketball coach. Just, playing to the crowd. I mean, you got Chuma Okeke rolling out there in the wheelchair in the middle of the game. No, I mean, he's just got there. You got the whole thing. You're playing it up, Bruce Pearl, definitely theatrics. Great coach, obviously. There was talks of UCLA maybe coming after him, but I think that's kind of died down. Especially, him getting to the Final Four. I don't see him.
I don't see him leaving Auburn.
Auburn will pay him the money now. I mean, like I said, he's already the most successful coach. You can argue.
Auburn will come with that check. They gotta keep him.
Give him that Gus Malzahn money.
Yeah, what's happening? What Bruce Pearl is really doing here is, if Gus Malzahn were to lose his job in the next couple of years, is the next football coach is going to get paid a little bit less because a lot of that money is going to be going to Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
Bruce Pearl is single-handedly earning the next football coach at Auburn lesser check because
he shows up for work.
Clocking in on time.
That's the case here. He's earning that paycheck. That's all you can ask from a coach, right? That's all you can ask.
That he shows up to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a great weekend. I mean, really and truly, like where I would love Virginia to beat Michigan State because I would win, a bunch of bracket pools that I'm in, and always want to win. I just want some close games. If they're as entertaining as they were last week, we're in for a good week of basketball, and that's all you can really ask for as a sports fan.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and just a quick shout out. I know we didn't get to talk about it much, but the women's Final Four, big time. I just want to mention Connecticut has been in the Final Four for I think 12 straight years now. By the way, just want to ask you a quick question. I think in the last 10 years, UConn's women's basketball team has lost, I want to say, 16 times. Do you know how many times?
Through a decade?
Yeah, like the last 10 years, I believe they lost 16 games. I believe that's the exact number. They actually haven't lost an AAC game, which is their conference. They've never lost